Hello everyone, this is your Figure Break, and today I'm reviewing the 1/8 scale Hatsune Miku Yukata version by Stronger. So sit back, relax, enjoy your break. Alright, she's finally here, the Yukata version of Miku. This thing went on pre-order April 2016, and it was then released in December of 2016, so it's almost been on pre-order for a year, so I'm finally glad she's here. Oh my gosh. And the box looks amazing. This thing looks like it has been wrapped in Japanese Christmas wrapping paper. It's really, really nice. The front of the box basically just shows Miku herself, the figure, some of the accessories and some of the attachments that you have to put on. The side, basically just, what she looks like from behind. And then the back of the box basically just shows different pictures of the figure herself. And yeah, I'm looking for a sticker of authenticity, and I don't see one. I don't think Stronger sometimes does that on their figures. And then the other side is just a picture of, the front of the figure. As for the top, and the top is actually the best part to see because that is what the patterning looks like. It's really, really nice. So, alright. Let's open it up. Okay, let's do these stickers first. There's actually 3 stickers on the top here. There's one right there, one on the top here. This, man, I am so glad I have this figure. This is one of those figures that at first I was on the fence about getting, and then I finally collapsed and got it because I sat there and said, I have a feeling this is gonna be a really, really nice figure. So I've seen a couple of user pictures that have come in of people who got it somehow the next day that it was released. I don't know how their shipping got that fast to them, but holy cow. So I'm really anticipating a really, really nice figure from this. Okay, get out. Okay, all right, there we go. All right, so box to the side. All right. Okay. Ooh, sorry. Mic bump. All right. Okay. Whoa. Oh my goodness, that thing looks cool. Okay. All right, so we got the sleeve. Oh, whoa. Okay. Okay, let's take Miku out. Oh, wow. It's so pretty. All right. How do you get that sleeving out? Hold on. There we go. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. Good lord. Okay. Alright, so that's the base. Wow, that's a really nice base. Oh my goodness. Holy cow. Alright. Put you down a second here. Let's get this base out of here. Oh, don't drop it. Thank goodness this thing is really, really flexible because that would be very easily breakable. It's really hard to get this stuff on the peg. That's for sure. There we go. Wow. Okay. That thing is solid in there. That's for sure. Okay. And then her umbrella. Ooh, the umbrella doesn't have to be assembled in any way. It's just kind of together. That's kind of nice. So, like that, right? Yeah, just like that. Ta-da! Alright, so here she is, all assembled, and gosh, man, oh gosh, it's an amazing, amazing figure. Stronger, I have to admit, they've been pumping out these Yukata figures like crazy, and this is probably one of their better ones that I've seen that I really like. Now, there is 3 things that I want to point out on this figure that were going to make or break this figure. That was going to be the painting detail of her dress, the sculpting of the hair and the painting of it, because that's what kind of makes a Miku figure. Most Miku figures, the big difference between them is ultimately what she's wearing and her hair sculpt. I can't think of any off the top of my head that basically, oh yeah, this hair is in the exact same position, other than like a different version maybe of the same figure. The other thing that I was going to make or break this figure was actually this floral arrangement, because considering that it's right in front of her and actually kind of blocking the figure, Stronger really needed to make sure that it was going to be detailed. So first thing I want to talk about is the Yukata herself, her dress. That they nailed it. This thing is so ridiculously detail painted. Gosh, the pictures are so crisp. It almost looks like they happen to say, hey, you know what? This thing is just a regular red Yukata. Let's just have some fun and draw on it. And that's exactly what they did. It is amazing. They almost made the Yukata itself a painting canvas, and they just had a blast. It looks, gosh, it is so detailed. Like even the little bands on the sleeve here, you see all these little lines, and they're so beautifully detailed. The cranes on it are so beautifully detailed in terms of showing all of their... Unfortunately, right now you can't see it, but I will show pictures of the details on this thing, because gosh, it is so amazing. The other thing then is going to be the hair. The hair itself looks really, really good. Very nicely flowing, very prominent, very long, wavy hair, very primitive of Miku figures, that's for sure. The transparency on it, I felt like the gradients of it goes a little too fast, because it starts off like a solid color, then it turns clear, then solid, then clear. But I felt like they could have lengthened, what would be the word for it? I guess would be to not have it go to transparency and then back to solid so fast. I feel like they could have lengthened it out. Like if they very faintly did some more fading, that would have been a little bit better. But it's still on point. It's still really, really good. The other ponytail toe looks really, really nice, that's for sure. In fact, actually, this ponytail is what they should have done on the other ponytail. The other one, it goes clear a little too soon, and the clear spot is a little too prominent. This one, you can tell that it's transparent, but it does fade nicely. It's not too rushed or anything like that, where I feel like this, I don't know if that's because it's prevalent on my figure, or that was the figure in general, but that seems to be one of the things, is that this one is nicely gradiated, while the other ponytail felt like they kind of rushed it a little bit. And then the third and final thing is the floral arrangement in front. That looks really, really nice. There's a lot of detail on this. The entire thing is actually made of the clear plastic, and it's all rubbery and flexible. I'm really glad that they actually did make it rubbery, because getting that and her on the base with those pegs was really hard. I felt like if they made this out of regular PVC and not that rubbery stuff, you could very easily break that. So not only did they make a practical use out of it, but also an aesthetic use by using that. The sculpting detail on these flowers, especially these three right here, is amazing. The rose is also amazing. All of it is really beautifully detailed. Very nice painting of it. Very nice uses of color. It doesn't take away from the figure either. Speaking of taking away from the figure, this is one thing I'm glad they didn't skip out of, because I felt like it was like a last minute thing that they pushed in. The little bird in her hand. That little bird, I was afraid that it would look like a absolute kind of like blob, because Stronger is kind of notorious for making figures that are very blobby-like sometimes with their sculpt. That bird is actually really nicely sculpted. It doesn't take away from the figure and whatnot. It all looks like it's part of the figure. So that's what I'm really, really glad about, is that they made sure that that bird was detailed. Because it's right there next to her face, which is going to be one of the first things you're going to look at when you're seeing this figure. There's a lot of things to look on this figure in terms of detail. The bows and the floral stuff on her hairband looks amazingly sculpted. This little part right here, it's actually slightly transparent, that looks absolutely amazing. It's very nicely too. There's really good sculpting details where it matters on this figure. Okay, so as for rating of the figure, I would probably give it I'm gonna give it a 7.8. Not quite an 8. There's one thing that the reason why I'm not giving this an 8, and that is the flaps on the Yukata feel a little bit too blobby, and a lot of the figure feels a little too blobby in terms of sculpting of some spots. But where the sculpting really mattered, it's perfect. The hair sculpt, good. A little bit better on the painting of the hair would have been nicer. The floral arrangement, that is probably what they nailed on. The two best parts of this figure is the detail of the Yukata and that floral arrangement that's right in front of her. And that was the two most prominent things of this figure, and they nailed it. They made sure they got those right. So again, Stronger did a really good job with this figure, and I'm really glad that I now have this in my collection. It's a really nice figure. Alright everyone, that is the end of my review of the 1/8 scale Hatsune Miku Yukata version by Stronger. I hope you all really enjoyed it, and I hope you all really enjoyed your break too. I'll see you in the next video.